Hey everyone, do you find yourself drained and overwhelmed? Do you find yourself partway through your day with a list of things that you really want to accomplish, but you just don't have the energy to get there? Maybe you resonate with terms like empath, highly sensitive, or intuitive, because this is a journey that I absolutely had to navigate. And today, I want to help you take your power back. I'm going to give you some practical tips to safeguard your energy and well-being so that you can not only survive, but thrive in this world that demands so much of us. To anybody who's never been here before, hi, I'm Elizabeth from Blissful Home and Body, and I have spent well over the last decade of my life so that I can help others set sacred space and get to your highest and greatest self. So let's get started. I'm going to give you 5 tips and techniques to help safeguard and feed back into your energy and well-being. But stick with me to the end because I'm going to give you a little bit of a bonus tip that will help you to know when and where to put these things into practice so that you can feed back into you throughout your day and keep you in that highest and greatest place. So first and foremost, you've got to know what your energy feels like. And this is where grounding techniques are so helpful. Things like walking barefoot on the grass, meditation, any sort of mindful movement so that you can be centered and know what your energy feels like in your body. This will help so that you can know when you're either picking up on somebody else's energy or somebody is siphoning off yours. You've got to know what your energy feels like in your body, and you've got to be protective of it because nobody's going to do it for you. My second tip here is be aware of your energy vampires. This is anyone or anything that is draining you. I want you to think of your energy like the battery that is powering your mood, your thoughts, your behaviors. And an energy vampire is anything that's going to leave you in a more negative or drained space than before you interacted with them or it. This doesn't always have to be people, but a lot of times it is. We're going to kind of talk about both. Within people, these are the individuals that will siphon off of you to power a lot of their more negative behaviors. Things like criticism, cynicism, their need for constant attention, or their just overall drama. Anyone that is siphoning off of you to power themselves. And you want to be aware of who those individuals are. This doesn't always have to be in person. This can be over the phone, over things like Zoom or online meetings, even within texts, things that just drain you when you interact with them. I also want to point out, this can be knowingly or unknowingly on their part. A lot of times they're not even aware that they are draining you to power a lot of their bad behaviors. But when it comes to things, there are other outside influences that can absolutely be energy vampires to us. This is things like activities that you're engaging in that don't refill you, but drain you. Things like if you are interacting online and it's just a more negative thing. Even things like television, movies, books, even spaces can sometimes be energy vampires. You can walk into certain areas of your home, or offices are ones that I hear a lot, that when people are in, it just seems to drain them. And I have a lot of different sources on how to help with those spaces. But first and foremost, I just want you to be aware of the energy vampires in your life, because unless you're aware of them, you can't protect yourself from them. So for my third tip, we just talked about outside influences that can drain or siphon our energy. But the next thing that I want you to be aware of is sometimes we can pick up or take the energy of others onto or into us. And this is usually done with trying to be of help, support, or trying to help heal somebody else. So the way that I want you to look at this is, first and foremost, this isn't your energy to take. That you can absolutely be there in unconditional love and unconditional kindness and be of support of individuals who are going through a hard time or handling difficult situations. But you don't want to take on to you that heaviness or difficulty. You want to think of it as something that is naturally flowing off and away from you. That's what this universe is kind of there to help us do. It will help to help them let go and even transmute that energy into a more positive state. But this is not your energy to take. So don't knowingly or unknowingly take the burdens off of others. And you can be there in unconditional love, unconditional kindness, and support. But don't take the burden off of them and place it onto you. My fourth tip is set up boundaries. And this is kind of twofold. The first part of it is things that we do more internally in order to give us a little bit of extra protection from the outside world. I personally like to picture white light around me. You can call in your guides or your angels to give you a bit of an extra barrier from the outside world or external energies from coming into and settling on you. Some people like to carry stones or crystals and then have those be either the magnet or what is absorbing that external energy. But you want to do something, even if it's just picturing a barrier around you, that one, energetically, does give you that extra protection, but it also then helps you to feel like you've got an extra layer there so that things aren't absorbing from you or you're not taking upon things that aren't yours. The second part about this is set up external boundaries. Put out what your boundaries are. And this usually comes in the form of things like saying no when something doesn't best serve you. And it's something I absolutely struggled with for years, and I'm not always the best at it now. So if you are a person that struggles to say no when you are requested of help, I usually suggest start small and do it often. Start with those little things of saying, no, I'm not able to, I just don't have availability, whatever works for you. But remember, you don't ever have to give a reason to say no, that self-care is not selfish. But then also, I just want to point out here, this is where it's important for you to know what your boundaries are. Know what things make you uncomfortable or know what situations don't best serve so that you can avoid those, whether that's avoiding long times in large crowds or whatever it is for you. But you want to be outward, let the rest of the world know what your boundaries are. My fifth tip is a little more encompassing, but I'm going to put it all under the umbrella of practice self-care. I have an entire video that is dedicated to sacred self-care, and I will link it in the card above as well as the description box down below. But this is things like seeking solitude when you need it. If you're in the middle of your workday, just going to sit in your car and deep breathe for a few minutes can be amazingly helpful. I enjoy EFT, or emotional freedom technique, that can help to recenter and feed back into you. Do things like spend time in nature or with animals. That can help you to feel in a more centered place. Things like cleansing or ritual baths can help clear off that external energy that isn't yours. It's amazing what adding a little bit of salt to your bath can do for you energetically. Things like listening to the music that you enjoy, or journaling is a huge one that can help to recenter you and help you let go of things that are either not yours or no longer serving you. But you want to practice throughout your day many of these things that are, again, all under that umbrella of self-care. Know what it is you need and put those things into practice. My bonus tip here is that before you head out into the world or begin interacting with people, as you are preparing for your day, that's the point in time when you want to be doing things like setting up those energetic boundaries and making sure you've got a little bit of extra protection. But then set an appointment with yourself throughout the day, whether it's every 3 to 4 hours, or you just mentally know that when you're between things, to come back and do a check-in with yourself and see where you need to either release or do a little bit of self-care. But this helps so that you don't get throughout your day and then you're just so depleted at the end of it. You can kind of do check-ins throughout and feed back into yourself, which will give you more energy throughout your day, and you'll be able to get more accomplished that will not only make you feel good, but do the things that feed your soul and help you get to that higher and better place. I deeply hope that this video served you along your journey. If it did, please hit that like button, as it really does help out small channels like this. And also, if you resonate with me and the message of trying to get to your highest and greatest self, think about subscribing and joining this community. We're all supporting each other along our spiritual journeys. So with that, I will just say that I am sending you all so much light and love, and I hope you all are staying well, my friends.